I find it annoying when I get comments and then I reply to them and they completely ignore my arguments, and then they rewrite it. I know that's a rewrite the question. I know that's a classic debate tactic. You see politicians do this, but it's annoying because I guess I try to think that people are trying to have an honest conversation, an honest debate, or bring things out in a positive way. For example, I had this comment, I think this gentleman who, I'm assuming he's a gentleman, his point was about he made 2 points. And I think he grouped everybody together. He was saying he was against that the Catholic Church was against condoms in Africa. And somehow this is a moral question. First of all, the Catholic Church is much different than Christianity, although there are some Christians in the Catholic Church. That being said, my point was that Africans do not have a 401k or a pension. They have children. It's their inheritance. If you tell them to stop reproducing, then what are they going to do with how are they going to do to retire? That was my point. He seemed to ignore that and rewrite it, and somehow still thinks that, and blaming all Christians for what the Catholic Church did doesn't really make sense. Also, he has this crazy thing about whether it's moral to make fun of someone, or I don't think it's moral or immoral. I don't think it has anything to do with morality, especially if you're using it as an adjective and/or you are not specifically attacking an individual. You're saying it as a group or a generalization. I don't have any problems with that at all. Now, if I hurt someone's feeling on an individual basis, that's different. You have a relationship with them. I would seek to make peace. But if I don't have a relationship, who am I hurting? If it wasn't directed specifically at the person, how is this immoral or immoral? It's just trying to find fault. It's really silly. And I made a point about shaming can actually put a good behavior. For example, I said about fat shaming actually helps people. Generally, most people react in a way that they don't want to be fat, and they seek to improve their diet or exercise. I know it works for me. When I get a little heavy, which happens, I don't like being heavy. I'm ashamed. So I adjust my eating habits and workout and exercise habits, and I improve things. I also, he tried to play this card that when I was in college, whatever. Straight answer is, I'm sure I went to a better school than he did. I just don't agree with everything that they said, because I can think as an individual and not as a collective. That being said, If we look at the current DSM-5, we basically are saying that now that men can be women. All the studies departments, the gender studies, the women's studies, all the studies have lost credibility. They're the opposite of biology. So why are you putting faith in something that's... Oh, and a few years ago there was a spoof on the papers, the studies that were peer reviewed, and one person, I still remember the paper, it's called Dog Park. It was talking about rape culture in dogs at dog parks. It was a joke, and yet it got peer reviewed. So that shows you where we're currently at. So that's my point. Our elites are not worthy, and our studies are foolish. Sorry, that's what it is. So that being said, and also he made a point about AIDS, homosexuals being stoned. First of all, my point was, how else are you supposed to prevent AIDS in a time period where there wasn't antibiotics? Yes, now they can keep AIDS patients alive for quite a long period of time, but you can't, look at Magic Johnson. However, obviously if you're committing a disgusting act like homosexuality, you're going, and homosexuality is AIDS is a homosexual disease. That's why all the gay lobbyists, that's their number one cause, is AIDS. So, and yes, AIDS medicine has come a long way. You can live with HIV for quite a while, but homosexuality is not as healthy as drinking orange juice. However, that being said, I don't want to go too far with this. Well, those are some thoughts. So I'll see you guys on the next one.